So before I officially start, I have to apologize for my throat. Delhi pollution has not been kind to me. And I am going to use a speech because I'm old and I can't remember much. I hope I don't cough in the middle or something. I aspire to inspire before I expire. If someone asked me to sum up my life in one sentence, this would be it. All my life I've had one goal: to do good, to help people and to make a mark on the Indian music industry. And I've been lucky enough to have gotten close to this dream of mine. My journey in music started as everyone else. I was a musician and not a very good one. And then while studying film production, I happened to organize concerts for Maroon 5 and Nickelback. And that opened a whole new world for me. I never knew I could make a career in the business side of music. Since I studied film, I worked in Bollywood and the international film industry for a while, and I hated it. I miss music so much. I couldn't stand spending the rest of my life taking orders from Bollywood actors. So I decided to get my master's in music business from London. I have to admit, I have been very blessed to have parents who have allowed me, to follow my passion and supported me throughout my journey. I guess a lot of my ambition comes from them. Both my parents come from humble middle class beginnings, the son of a mining engineer and a daughter of a police officer. They got married to produce this fine specimen standing in front of you. But things weren't very easy for them. My dad was once even a door-to-door air conditioner salesman. But eventually they started their business and were able to provide me with the best education I could ask for. So for me, I wanted to prove to them and to my family that I didn't have to join the family business, that I could make a mark on my own in a field where there were no contacts, nothing. In the UK, as I worked as a promoter, I even got to intern for Peter Jenner, Pink Floyd's original manager. Once my studies were over, I wanted to come back to India right away. I always thought it was better to come back and make the Indian music industry better. But when I got here, I was in for a very rude surprise. Nobody would hire me because I was overqualified. Can you imagine? Who would have thought? So I had no choice but to start my own company called Music Gets Me High. This is back when there were no real management companies, and I can honestly say I think I might be the first woman-run music management company in the country. This gave me the drive to be the first. I didn't want to do what others were doing. My company over the last 14 years has managed a lot of artists like Nuclear, like Adrev, and I've done festivals and concerts like the Guns N' Roses India Tour, Sula Fest, Zero Music Festival, and so on. But it wasn't about doing what my peers were doing. It was about seeing the industry as a whole and asking myself, what is not available here? Where is the gap? Where is the lack? That's when you step in. I was managing Advaita, an 8-member band, when they told me there was no place for them to rehearse. So that gave me the idea to start Sound Station, one of the largest and now the oldest running rehearsal studios in Delhi. Then artists kept asking me simple things over and over again. And I realized there were no educational resources for artists that catered for the Indian market. So that gave me an idea to write Indie 101, the first guidebook to the Indian music industry. Eventually, this grew into India's first standalone music business course that I teach now in association with Sri Aurobindo Center of Arts and Communication. But getting the book out was not easy. I don't even consider myself an author. I just wrote down what I thought artists needed to hear. But then my anxiety and fear kind of kicked in. I started asking myself, who the hell am I to tell people what to do? So I went and started asking other people in the industry for their input. So the book would be from all of us. That way wouldn't be just my opinion. Once the book was complete, I started going to publishers, asking them if they wanted to print the book, and nobody was interested. They're like, you don't need a book like this in India. So once again, anxiety, depression kicked in, And the book was just sitting on my laptop for years. I'm going to say 2-3 years. It was just sitting there. During this time, I was doing a lot of like healing work. I'm a certified life coach now, and I do shamanic healing and all this fun stuff that people, keep talking about. And that kind of really gave me the courage to, just be who I was. And so I'd ask myself, I'm like, why did I write this book? Did I write it because some publisher needs to understand it and print it? Or did I write it because I felt there was a need, that people needed to get this information out there because I had something to say to them? So I decided to self-publish and sell the book via Amazon. I'm happy to say the book is now in its second print, and I'm going to be printing the third print soon because it keeps getting sold out. So yes, that's pretty good. See, all of this taught me a very valuable lesson, that one needs to, trust your own gut. You can't wait around for other people's validation or judgment. If there is something you feel like you need to do, you need to go ahead and do it. I soon started doing free workshops across the country at music schools, teaching them snippets of my book. And I guess my workshops and all the work I was doing made a difference, because I was soon appointed the country head of CD Baby, which is one of the world's largest independent distributor of music. And then I soon became the country head of Downtown, which is the holding company that controls CD Baby and a bunch of others. Has this journey been easy? Hell no. Since I was one of the first, I had to face a lot of bullshit along the way. Since the competitors couldn't attack me on my experience or my education, they used my gender and started spreading rumors about me. Since this is a college and a TED talk, I'm going to keep it PG-13. But let's just say they started spreading rumors that I used to use my gifts to get ahead. What else are they going to attack a woman on, right? Working on music festivals in India has not been the easiest task. I can still remember doing a festival like Zero, which is in Arunachal Pradesh. And the closest proper town is about 20-hour drive. So if you needed needed a light bulb, you needed an extension cord, it was a 20-hour drive to get it. I still remember the first year when I was running Zero, there was a torrential rain and massive landslide. And my artists were all stuck on the other side. But somehow, we managed to put up the show on time. I can also tell you that there has been a time when I was threatened for my life. Because how dare a woman come and tell us what to do? How dare a woman who happens to be the festival director and whose job it is to tell you what to do, how dare she come? And they actually told me that if you come and start telling us what to do, we will kill you, literally. Those were the words. And these people are serious, let's just say that. But that made me really, really angry, because I couldn't talk to the crew. I had to tell my male members to give their crew instructions because they didn't want a woman telling them what to do. So it was literally like, hey, do this, and then they would go ahead and tell them what to do. Can you imagine how frustrating that was? But because I don't want to be defined by my gender. I didn't want to be included somewhere because I was a token woman judge. I wanted to succeed on my merit alone. I wanted to be the best person for the job. No gender bias. Even setting up this course was quite a task. I spoke to a few schools, but I got the best vibe from SACAC. I am honestly all about the vibe. Like, if I don't get a good vibe from someone or someplace, I kind of don't work with them. Because for me, mental peace is more important than money. But I can tell you, when I was speaking to all these schools, there were other industry people telling them, why would you let Ritnika teach this course? She's just a spoiled girl who got to go abroad, right? As if going abroad determined whether you will actually succeed in India or not. But I was really lucky that SACAC is run by 3 amazing women. And they took, a chance on me. Because again, when people started saying that, who is Ritnika? Why is she teaching this course? Anxiety stepped in. I started thinking to myself, who the hell am I to teach this course? What have I done to actually tell people what to do in this industry, right? But it kind of happened, and it's been running now for 3-4 years. I was fooling myself working in TV and film all those years. The minute I worked on my first concert, which was of the band Counting Crows, I was hooked. My favorite part of a concert is right at the end, when you have someone like Guns N' Roses or Amit Trivedi playing, and the whole crowd is going wild, and you can just look at them and be like, man, I made those people happy. That just makes it worth it, you know? Even though I'm a teacher now, training young artists and music industry professionals, it's been more of an educational journey for me. Every student has been a teacher to me, helping me grow and nourish my soul, and it has been the most rewarding job ever. And I really hope there are some faculty members here who can probably vouch for that. But at the end, 20, 30, 40 years from now, or even when I'm dead and gone, I just hope there's just one person out there who goes, you know that Ritnika? She did something for me. She made a difference in my life. Thank you.